So I have four really incredible women out here. I'm gonna let them share their stories and how they work their business. But all of you guys know, Shauna, Nikki, and Ashley and I. Actually, Nikki and Colin really focus a lot on the water, which is amazing. But Shauna, Ashley, and I are really all about kind of building a personal brand and selling like the platform and the lifestyle side of this. But these four take a very different approach, and I think having success in this business comes down to passion, and it comes down to doing something that resonates with you. So if following, what Shauna and me and Ashley are teaching isn't really working and it's not resonating, I've seen a few of you really love the water and start sharing the water. This is that direction. They're going to talk a lot about organic too. And Erin has a really cool story because she's done both sides. So she has some really great input on what it's like to do organic and to do the ad side. So we want to give you guys the best chance possible to succeed in any part of this business. So hearing from these guys, they've all crushed it out. And keep your questions kind of till the end. Let them share their stories, and I'm just going to kind of give you guys the floor. So I will spotlight you.
Hello, I'm Chelsea. Hello, everybody. So I live in Louisiana, and my story's pretty crazy, but I actually started online, and that's when I met Erin. And I had no idea, but where I lived, there were tons of people who knew about this water. And I found out shortly after I got my machine. And then I found out that they were actually opening a storefront here, which was super crazy because nowhere else people knew about this water. So it's like super lucky to live in this town where it was happening. So I helped first open the first Kangen water store in Louisiana, and we went through a lot of trial and error to figure out what worked for us and what didn't. But after our store opened, 6 more opened, and it wasn't just a storefront, but it was also out of other people's businesses, even like a hardware store actually. And then some restaurants have it, and they actually do the business within their business. So the restaurants here, they serve Kangen water in the pretty blue bottles. I don't know if you guys have seen those, the Enagic bottles. And they serve it in their restaurant. They also have demos there once a month. And so that, having the water there and also cleaning the entire restaurant with it, cooking with it, the whole thing, any uses you can think of for this machine, they're doing it in their restaurant. And so they have these demonstrations once a month. And that's where I first saw a demonstration, which was awesome, because you're literally being served this water and it looks so fancy in this pretty bottle. And then you see this mind-blowing presentation, of course, and then it just spread. So that has actually brought them more business, and their business was saved because of Kangen water. So that spread to a business here in Slidell, and then now in New Orleans, and it is in a few other towns surrounding us and different restaurants, and they do the same things. So it's a really great way for other businesses to make, more income in their business. And of course, local businesses do struggle a lot. I mean, that's something that we know about, support your local business. So it's been really interesting to see the turnover or the change within their businesses since having Kangen water be a part of it. And that's an awesome way to spread the word, obviously, whether it be, and we also have salons that have it here. So there's so many options. You can think of a pet store, grooming, for pets and animals. Vets, doctors have them. We have dentist office who actually do mini demos in their office here in New Orleans. So it's been really fun to see the differences that you can put this machine, like you don't really think about it like that, but this is commercial. You can put it anywhere. So any business and anyone, people have asked me like, who's your target market? And I have to say everyone, because it just is. And it's been a proven fact here. And we have just seen incredible results with it. And the storefronts, they do a 21-day trial there. So they let people try the water. You do have to go in and see a demo. And then that's it. You're trying it for 21 days. And from there, of course, throughout the whole process, we help them decide or find out financing and options so they can get this machine. And so it's just been amazing to witness, you guys, like the stories, the lives that I have literally witnessed people with their health, from cancer to autism to MS to diabetes to someone who literally could barely walk and now they can. It's like, that is the most like chilling, mind-blowing experience of this whole thing, is whenever you literally see someone's life, like it's really emotional, and that's like the whole push behind it, and that's what gives me drive, is because I've literally, once you realize you have the power to do something so powerful for someone else, then it just really sets this fire inside you that you literally can't put out, and so it's contagious. And that's where, like you're talking about passion, the passion just flows through automatically, because you see how real this product is, and you see how change your water, change your life is literally what it says. Like, that is it. That's it. And this is so powerful. This, when I first started doing this, I had to learn how to do demos, of course. That was the goal. I went there, I saw the demo at first, and then the guy was like, all right, this is it. You got to learn how to do this. I'm like, all right. Well, of course, it took a lot of practice. I watched hours of YouTube videos on demos and how to do demos, and from different people, and everyone does it different. So you don't have to do it a certain way, but demos as far as full out presentations, but then also starting in your home. So for people who are sharing, I first shared out of my home, and I still share out of my home now because I moved to town over from where the store is not. So now it's different because that's even tough. There's rules to that. The water doesn't have a shelf life. So you have 48 hours for the properties to last. I'm talking about the antioxidant property of the water to last. So they actually feel the benefits of this water. It'll still be alkaline after those 48 hours, and that's in a plastic jug, but in glass, that's the best way to hold the water. And that can last a week and a half with those antioxidant properties. If you guys have seen a demo and you've seen the ORP meter, or if you haven't, go watch a demo online and look at the meter. That's what I'm talking about, the negative number of your water. It's full of antioxidants. 1 glass equals to 5 pounds of blueberries and antioxidants is how powerful it is. So anyways, so whenever you share with people in person, I like to do like a 2-week trial, because 21 days is a long time. It's kind of tough to keep up with people's schedules, and obviously we know this, but the water does the talking. I don't care if you do a demo or not. If you just do pH drops, leave it at that, give them the water, make sure they're not drinking anything else, Cokes, Sprites, Gatorades, nothing else. You make it a health challenge. So that's what it is. You're challenging them, especially now because it's the end of the year, but it's a change in your health. Someone who's interested in their health, if they work out, if they go to the gym, anyone that obviously right now, like I said, is the best time to contact people about this. Hey, do you want change in your life? Like, what are you doing with your health? Change your water, it's really simple. Like, you can leave it really basic, and that's it. And I just deliver water. Of course, you got to keep up with the schedule, but you guys, that's how I've made all these offline sales, is because the water literally sells itself. After a few days, and so after 3 days of drinking the water, and somebody tells me their back stops hurting after years of having back issues. That's it. That's it. Like, the water will do it for you. So have faith in your water. Drink your water. Like, I'm telling you guys, a gallon a day, you will feel so much different than you do whether you're drinking just a few glasses or a half a gallon. That matters. I have a whole different mindset, and I've been slacking on the water lately. So I've been like off almost. So it's like, okay, I know I need to get on my water. And when I do, I swear, I'm like a new me. It's crazy. Today I've been like really trying, and I feel better. So it's really interesting what it does. It's the only water that can pass the blood-brain barrier and hydrate the brain cells. Your brain cells are 85% water. Like, this is like serious, you guys. It just makes us feel great. So now my focus is actually going towards businesses, because this is really interesting. I've seen a lot of people do it different ways, but people don't have to do demos. You don't have to say, I'm going to do demos once a month for the rest of your life. No, like, make sure they know that this is a business opportunity for them, not just you doing all the work. Because I have also done that. I've done all the work, and it does get very frustrating. And you're like, okay, wait, what about yeah. So, but that's just it. People need to see how important and big this can be for themselves, but we just have to really show them and guide them through. So the businesses throughout all of the ones that I've heard about, So this guy made a contract pretty much of saying what he could offer this business, whether he's going to go do a cleaning for them, keep up with the maintenance of the machine, order any filters, whatever it is, and he charged a fee for this. And so that seemed really smart to me because you don't have to be doing demos every single second. And it's not that you have to do demos. Like I said, the water sells itself. So even if you keep it the most basic, you don't want to throw up all over people. Like, if you guys know the science behind this, it's my favorite part. And I wish that I could just like announce it out to the world of what it is, but people get lost. Like, it's just too much. So really just showing them the problem, which is literally, I have gone up to someone in a grocery store with Dasani in their basket and was like, hey, do you really like that water? He'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, but have you really seen what's in it? And I literally go up to it, point to it, and be like, yeah, salt, potassium chloride, third lethal injection on death row. Like, this is crazy, but this is in here. You see that, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, no, I didn't know. Like, you have no idea how many like quick turnarounds it's been for people. And I don't know if you guys know Tamia Williams, but she's on Facebook, Coach Tamia. I love her. But she'll go up to someone and literally like stalk them in the like grocery aisle. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, people do this business a million ways. Like, you don't have to do it like that, but it's just really fun to see all the different ways. And people, that takes a lot of guts to just go up to somebody like that. But you know what? That is super good for you. Why? Because it pushes you out your comfort zone totally. Nobody wants to just walk up to a random person and be like, hey, da da da. But let me tell you what happened. I did that, and just so happens the man has prostate cancer. You know, you just never know what people are going through. You never know like who you're being drawn to. So if your gut instinct is telling you to talk to someone, you should say something. Because if I didn't say something, then I could have, you know, like all the lives that have changed. If I didn't say something, their lives would not be how they are right now. So you have to say something. And I know it seems nerve-wracking, and sometimes you feel stupid, or you feel like you don't know all the information yet, or whatever it is, but that's not the point. The point is that you have a piece of gold that can literally, physically, mentally, everything change someone's life. And I'm going to say that's like the most, we feel each other. We're family. Like, we're such family here. And when we had the grand opening of the Metairie store, literally like the whole room was crying because we were like, this is God's business, literally. And like, he sent all of us here. We're all here at this moment, and all these lives in this room that have literally changed because of some water. It's crazy because it's just water. It's just like, what? Like, what? It's so mind blowing. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So to get that belief, just, you guys know, like, there's testimonies galore on the internet about this water. Galore. You can go watch them all day. But yeah, it's so cool to like meet someone in person, or like see these people for real. And it just like, it keeps growing on you. It's like your heart, it just keeps getting more heavy, and you just have to tell people. It's like, you're like, this is my duty now. Okay. And I say that's what it is. Like we're chosen for this. Whether you don't even talk, I think whether you don't even talk about the water, or maybe like, even though I'm going to go towards businesses now, if I hear about someone, you guarantee I'm going to give them water, because I know. And it's selfish of me, to not say something. It is. Like, once again, if I did not say something to this one person, their life could be the same, which they were miserable in, literally like whole life being ruined, or could it change their entire life? That's so powerful. Just like on here, you know, you guys, like, changing your financial situation, you know, your peace of mind, your health. That's what this company Enagic is about. You know, like, that's so true. You have to have the equal balance of everything. And so it's that life-changing though, when it's someone's health. I think that's probably the deepest part of this whole experience. because we can get wealthier, and that's amazing. But if you could literally change someone's life and possibly, look, I'm not making health claims here, you guys, but save someone's life. Not making health claims, because your body can heal itself. That's what's happening. Let me make that clear real quick. Okay, it's not the water healing, treating, curing, nothing. It's God's natural occurrence, okay, of how your body is made, that we are supposed to be able to heal ourselves. But we're too acidic, we're too toxic, we're too full of these chemicals that we can't. But once we put our body back into balance and give it what it recognizes, then it's able to balance itself. And so our bodies can heal anything, any disease. And I say this is an awesome documentary on Netflix called Heal, but now there's scientific evidence proving that we can heal ourselves by thought alone. So whether it's a total alkaline diet or a vegan diet or the water you're drinking or whatever it is, doesn't matter. Regardless, we're amazing humans. So anyways, yep. Yeah, that's what I got for you guys.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm saying if you're fucking passionate about something, it comes out. It doesn't matter. And I think you probably moved every single person on this call, but you can tell you truly care. And that's absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing. There's just a couple questions we maybe will ask because you're still out here. But someone asked, samples. Is just samples huge?
Samples. Yeah, so I actually have one right here. This is the best. Okay, so I used to get all right, when I first started, I literally bought water jugs from Walmart, dumped out the water in it, and then gave that jug. We don't want to use plastic. All right, this bag is plastic, but you don't want to use a plastic jug, like BPA free for sure. But these bags right here that says alkaline water, it doesn't say Kangen on it. I will say that, like, it's, obviously when we take our bottles out to go eat, that's another great way to just have your water on the table and say, no, thank you, I have my medical water. And that's literally it. I swear, like, the girls have witnessed me say that here. I say it all the time. They don't question me. Sometimes, most of the time, they're gonna be like, oh, I never heard of that. And that's your conversation starter. And there it is. Anyways, but for stuff like this, I don't want to have Kangen on it because, unfortunately, the research out there on Kangen, when you first Google it, and I tell everyone this, by the way, all the people I meet ever, when you Google Kangen, first thing you're going to see is buy this machine for half price. It's our competitors. They love us because we are the makers of the technology. It's patented. No one can ever recreate it. It is what it is, but that's what you're going to see. So just beware. But go Google Scholar, and go there and research. Okay, anyways. So this is on alkalinetools.com. And literally this awesome bag, it says hydrate, oxygenate, detoxify, alkalized. Ionized alkaline water is most effective within the first 48 hours. Do not drink within 30 minutes of taking prescription medicine. And then it says change your water, change your life. And then it says sample, free sample, not for sale at the bottom.
Cool.
So yeah, this is the best that I've found to share water in. But yeah, it's just samples, and that's, like I said, a 2-week trial, but remember, it only lasts 48 hours in this jug, so it's every 2 days, unless you give them a glass container, which can last a week and a half.
Okay. So someone asked about titrate. I don't even know what that word is, the water on a 21-day trial, but I think you were saying you don't do 21 days?
Not in person. Not like, yes, the stores do, but like for me personally out of my house, yeah. I do 2 weeks. 2 weeks is long for someone to see. Of course, it's alkalinetools.com, the website, right? Anyways, but of course, oh wait, where was I going with that? 2-week trial. Yeah, it's just, so when you start people out on the water, the settings, you have 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5. Okay, be careful when you're sharing water because you cannot give someone straight 9.5. They will diarrhea most likely. And that's just the detox process. It's totally natural, so like, cool. But also warn people about that. Like, there's detox processes. Everyone detoxes differently. I personally had diarrhea. I tell them straight up, I personally did, like, because I'm just saying, it depends on what your body's doing, how things are going, how acidic you are. Anyway, so start at 8.5, but you can move them up pretty fast. Just ask every single, how are you feeling? You know, what, you feel any different? See any changes? And you can also tell them the first thing you're going to notice is energy increase. You're going to sleep better. If you have pain, you know, look out for that. Like, it'll probably decrease as well. You'll have more energy. So that they're actually looking out for those things as well, like in our subconscious, you know, you say it. And then, like I said, move them up to 9.5 as fast as you can, but not too fast. And that's it. That's all you need is 2 weeks. As long, 2 reasons why it would not work. The water's not going to work. They're not drinking enough water. They're not drinking their body weight. So what someone should be drinking to stay properly hydrated is your body weight divided by 2. How many ounces you need to drink a day. Give them that. Give them, like, how much do you weigh? Divided by 2. Okay, great. This is how many ounces you need to be drinking a day. And if they have something more major going on, if they have or some people have Crohn's or cancer or something like that, they need to drink 100% of their body weight because they need more. Their body just does. So pay attention to that, and just, like I said, make it more of a challenge and make it like you're their health coach coaching them through this process, like texting them you're going to see them every 2 days, but checking in, like, how you doing? Like, still no cokes, right? You know, just like, how you feeling? You getting there? Great. And just, you know, interact with them a lot. That's good.
Cool. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Who's next? Just unmute yourself if you want to find you.
I'll go next.
You're next, Kate. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Spotlight you. There we go.
Cool. What's up, guys? My name is Erin. My story is going to be like a curveball from everything that Chelsea just shared because it's entirely different. I started this business maybe 2.5 years ago, and I was straight Facebook ads for, I would say, like the first 2 years entirely. And I had very quick success with Facebook ads. I think I made my first trifecta sale within like 30 days. And I hit the ranks pretty quickly. I'm almost 6A2 now, and I built almost my entire business just off of running Facebook ads. And it was going great, but I'm just the kind of, like, I guess just me as a person, the way that I like to teach people is based off of like what I've experienced myself. So like all the success that I built for myself through Facebook ads was mostly on Facebook. Towards the end of running ads, I started transitioning over into Instagram, but I had primarily ran ads on Facebook, and I got a bunch of success with it. Like, I was running a lot of video ads, a lot of story ads, and I would say generally every ad that I put out did convert and did make sales, and it was great, but I couldn't duplicate it, and I couldn't teach other people how to do what I was doing. I tried to, you know, put everything in videos, like type everything out, A to Z, exactly what I was doing, how I was running my ads, demographics, how I was filming my videos, like everything. I tried building ads with people, and no matter what, for some reason, I could not duplicate it on like a larger scale. Like a couple people were getting it, but like not everybody was. And maybe that's normal, but like I couldn't stop there and like just let that be the norm, at least for like me and my team and the people that I was leading. So I guess I'm a little bit of an extremist, and I went entirely from like Facebook ads to organic marketing on Instagram, on an Instagram account that I hadn't built at that point in time yet. And it was a big transition. I think in the Facebook ads world, like if any of you are running Facebook ads, which I'm assuming the majority of you are, automation's dope. Like automation's amazing because you can go to sleep, you wake up the next morning, you have a buyer, like people are just coming in through ads, and it's amazing. And whenever you transition into the organic marketing world and you expect that same momentum to carry over, it is like a smack in the face because it doesn't. Like everything kind of stopped as soon as I transitioned into organic marketing. And I don't want it to sway anybody from like not wanting to go internet or organic marketing. It's just like the reality of organic marketing. It's almost the same as paid ads. It just requires consistency. Like no matter what I've done in this business for the last 2.5 years, I've been consistent as shit. I don't know if I can swear on here, but like I've just been really fucking consistent throughout the entire thing. Like if I was running Facebook ads, there wasn't a point in time where I wasn't running Facebook ads. Like I have a lot of people, and I'm not sure if any of you have experienced this, but I've had a lot of people come to me and say that they ran ads for like a week or a month, and then they like off and they're just waiting for their leads that they got from that week or month to convert into sales. And while that can happen, and I'm not saying it can't, like you have to be consistent. Like if you're going to run Facebook ads for a long time. Give yourself 3 months to do anything that you are committing to in terms of getting leads and like trying to sell things in your business, whether it's Enagic or the other offers. Give yourself 3 months. Like a lot of people will kind of get a week in or 2 weeks in and the cost per lead that they have isn't like what they want. Or if they're doing organic marketing, like they're not getting DMs and people aren't, responding back to whatever messages that they're sending out. And it can be discouraging. But it takes time. It takes consistency. Like it's something you have to show up for every day. And if you're not showing up for it every day and you skip a day, like you got to start showing up for it the next day and get back on the horse and show up for it every day after that. Like it's something that you have to be committed to. And that I think is what really brings results. So like I know I'm supposed to be talking about, organic and paid, but I think consistency is like what all of it boils down to, honestly, because that is truly the only reason I've gotten results with paid advertising and with organic marketing. So at least to give you guys some insight into organic marketing, because I know Melissa talks a lot about paid advertising with you guys most likely, but to get into organic marketing, I transitioned over into organic marketing probably in July. And like I said, literally turned all of my Facebook ads off. I literally stopped posting on my Facebook page just so I could focus on my time and energy on Instagram. I wouldn't suggest that, but that's what I did. And I'm just sharing my story. But for Instagram, what I started doing and like what I noticed that worked the best in terms of posting, I've tried it all from posting every single day to posting once a week. And at least for me, I would say the sweet spot has been posting twice a week. If you post too much and you post every single day, your posts end up competing against themselves. And give me 1 second because my laptop's about to die. But I'll just talk to you guys as I'm getting off the charger. What happens with your Instagram posts is they will start competing against each other. And what that means is Instagram generally will push out like a post that you've posted to your followers and to whoever follows the hashtags. If you're hashtagging your posts, like Instagram will automatically push those out over the course of a few days. Like sometimes if you're scrolling through your Instagram feed and you see someone's picture, if you look at the timestamp, they might have posted it like 2 days ago, but Instagram is still putting it on your feed. So whenever you post a picture, that's generally what's happening. So if you post a picture today and then a picture tomorrow, Instagram now has to decide which picture it wants to put in front of your followers more than the other one. So you'll see that one has a really like a bunch of likes, maybe like a couple hundred likes, and the other one has like 50. And it's because the algorithm is against you because you're posting too much. So, gotta plug this in. So basically, oh gosh, you can only see my forehead. All right, good to go. So basically, you want to find the sweet spot, at least for you, in terms of like how often you should be posting. But again, I think consistency is super, super important. So figure out what that sweet spot is to you and then commit to it. Some people, I would say most people, suggest to post as you're going along and come from a more like documenting vibe. So like kind of like bringing your followers along the ride with you and opening up and sharing like what's going on in your life, like where you're at in the world, what you're doing, what's happening, and like the lessons that you're learning at that part in your life. So that is more of like the documenting side of organic marketing. Because there's a lot of stuff on my plate, I kind of automate a lot of that still. Maybe it's the Facebook ad side of me that is like stuck with automation for life, but like I like automating the posting end of things. So I use what's called later.com. It is a scheduling app for Instagram posts, and I'll just schedule out my posts pretty much a month in advance. Like I will generally have 2 posts a week for the entire month scheduled out with captions, like whoever I'm tagging in those posts, like whatever I'm doing with those posts, it's all scheduled the month before. Just to maintain consistency and still being able to do the other things that I'm doing with my business. So there's kind of 2 ways to do it. I still have success with scheduling it, but I've heard a lot of people suggest against that and suggest more so, just sharing content and like bringing your followers along with the ride with you. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do and what makes the most sense for your business. For For me though, it did take some time. Like, it's not, whenever you switch into organic marketing, it's not this like crazy beautiful universe of like sunshine and rainbows where like everybody's just blowing up your DMs as soon as you post like something about the fact that you work online. Like, you have to be consistent. Yeah, later.com. But you have to be consistent. Like, you have to almost, like, you are kind of building a name for yourself online. Like, your Instagram page has to be almost like your resume or almost like your business card. Like, people need to know whenever they come to your page, like, they can come to you if they want to learn how to make money online. Like, if they need an amazing water machine that's going to change their fucking life, they can come to you. Like, if they even hear somebody else talking about it, like, they could be at work and their coworker could be talking about how they just want to get a water ionization machine. They'd be like, oh, I know who you should talk to about that. Like, you need to brand yourself in a way where whenever people think of working online, whenever people think of needing a water ionization machine, maybe they don't have that specific thought, but like the health aspect of things, like, if somebody thinks that they need these things, they know that they can come to your Instagram account, or they know they can send somebody to your Instagram account and that you are the person to talk to. And that's why at this point, after building that reputation for myself on Instagram, and it's not even through consistently like shoving it down people's throats. Like, if you go to my Instagram account, every single post is not about Enagic. Every single post is not about ACE. Every single post is not about making money online. Like, I share a lot of value, but I also make sure there is a healthy and balanced mix of telling people what I do and letting them know that they can come to me if they want to do the same thing. Because you can talk all day about what you do. Like, I do this, I do this, I do this. But if you don't tell somebody that they can actually learn how to do that themselves by asking you about it, they're never going to ask you, because they just think that you're just telling them about what you do. And you might have some ballsy people like slide in your DMs and ask you like how they can do what you're doing too. But most people, if they don't know that they can ask you, won't. So make sure that you're not only sharing what you do, but also that you're telling people that they can come to you to learn how to do it as well. I think it's like really important to have that healthy mix. But I would say for me personally, like I said, I started doing this back in July. I was making sales and getting leads pretty slowly for the first 3 months, but I would say at the 3-month mark, which is so funny because I referenced that earlier without even like making the connection, but it was at the 3-month mark where I started getting consistent messages. Like, I don't even post as much anymore, and people are still constantly, I'm getting maybe like 2 to 3 buyers a week just organically from people just replying to the highlights in my Instagram like account, like the little saved stories that you can do in your highlights. People just watch those and reply to me and be like, hey, I'm going to sign up today. And they do. Like, a lot of people hit me up. I have a survey in my bio as well that people can apply to work through. And I would say 90% of my sales have come through people just applying through that. Just shooting them a message back saying, hey, thanks for applying for my survey. Watch this video on what I do and let me know if it resonates with you. And then they buy. Like, it sounds really simple, but I think it's literally just because I built the reputation for myself and I was consistent in telling people what I did and consistent in telling people that they could come to me to learn how to do what I do. That gave me the reputation that now brings people to my page on a consistent basis to learn how to make money online. So if you guys want to get into organic marketing, I think it really just comes down to the consistency. Good quality pictures are important as well, but like consistency and value, like, okay, I'm going to add one more thing onto that. Consistency, value, and information. Like, be consistent, share value so that it's not just like sales all the time, but then also make sure that you are giving people information and letting them know what you do and how they can do it as well. And I would say, yeah, Emily says utilize call to actions. Yeah, she's going to be talking in a second. But those are the 3 main things that I would say in terms of organic marketing. And you can mix what me and Chelsea have been talking about together. Like, if you want to take organic marketing and building your Instagram account with sharing the shit out of the water, like, do that. It works amazing. Sierra isn't going to be on here to talk tonight, but that is what Sierra has done to pretty much like build up her business, is bring Enagic onto Instagram and really pump that out consistently to educate her followers on Enagic, and then also get those organic sales through Instagram, leveraging her social media to be able to sell Enagic. And it's worked amazing for her. She's killing it right now. So, or she could come out and share, but that is in a nutshell what she's been doing. And yeah, Emily's going to come out in a second to talk a little bit more about organic marketing and Enagic and stuff like that. But that is my story.
Thank you, Erin. It was amazing. Yeah, she's killing it. And to be honest, my favorite part about her story is, if we haven't said this 100 times, 1,000, but it's being consistent, whatever way you choose to do it. And I think it's really cool. You ran ads and you hustled that side of your business for so long and decided to make the switch, but knew that it was going to take the same amount of consistency. And you just proved that right there. So every single person on this call, give it 90 days. I don't care what you do, sell the water, don't sell the water, run, get ads, do organic, run, all of those things, but stay consistent for 90 days. You owe that to yourself. You'll never know what you're capable of if you don't do that. And you just proved that from both sides, which is amazing. I love your story. So thank you. Who's next? I can't even, Emily? I don't see her.
Yeah.
Where are you at, Emily?
Emily?
Okay, maybe if you just start talking, I'll pop up somewhere.
I'm talking right now. I don't know if I'm popping
up. I can like see you. Hold on. Here we go. There we go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having us on. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys about, the other side of this business. My story started, I think, before I even found Erin. So I actually was introduced to this business. Originally, I found Enagic through a friend of mine that I have a large network because I was in sales and business development before I started my own business. So I was introduced to Enagic. I knew the business model. And I had like tried and failed multiple MLMs. And at the time I was like really young. I was, I think 19, like I didn't have money. I barely had a working car. So I like couldn't afford a Enagic machine to start, but I saw that the opportunity was good. And then I was making a name for myself in the sales world, selling junk removal, which sounds really random, but I was killing it, making all these connections. And then I saw Erin's ad and decided that I was going to take a chance. I actually grilled Erin in her Facebook message. It's so funny. I don't know how we're like best friends now. And I was like, I want to hop on a call. And we hopped on a call for like 5 minutes. And I decided to buy a trifecta after asking her like 5 questions. And then I just hopped in. Like I went all in. I mean, I was working full time and I would come home and work until 1 a.m. on my business, just learning everything I could for literal months. And then after the first month, I actually lost my job. Like I got fired. My boss was really crazy. It was a crazy situation. And I got fired randomly to everybody's, surprise. And I decided I wasn't going to go get a job. I was getting job offers and I said, fuck that. I'm never working for somebody again. I can't. And so I signed up for Uber Eats because I knew I could like make my own schedule and just supplement my income. And I became a coach right away. So right away, I started coaching people, talking to people every day. I mean, at one point, I was taking like 6 coaching calls a day. Like it was getting really crazy. But I was practicing. So I'm in the people business. Like I do probably 90% of the coaching calls for our team. And that's what I love to do. I love sharing this opportunity, especially now that we have ACE and there's so many more offers. It's amazing. We don't have to turn people down, which is great. But basically I'm in the people business and I am good at selling, but I don't technically sell. I wouldn't say that I sell people anymore. What I'm doing is sharing and educating and then guiding people towards what is best for them based on their needs and their goals. And that has been working out amazing. It really gives people the passion to be consistent and want to build their business. Like a lot of people before were coming in and they were like, oh, I can just, automate my whole business, like do this overnight basically. And we had a lot of people that would even purchase Enagic and just drop out. And it was, it sucked to see that. Like me and Erin were kind of stumped there for a little bit. And then we decided to just go into organic, and I actually wasn't allowed to hook up my machine at my house. Like my stepmom was crazy about it. Like ask Chelsea. Chelsea got grilled on a half-an-hour call with my stepmom. She's crazy about it. Wouldn't let me hook up my machine. So I moved out. Like I literally was like, okay, peace. Like I'm getting out of here because I had drank the water when I traveled with my girls. And I was like, this water is amazing. Like I feel so much better and I'm relatively healthy. Like I'm an athlete. I literally just got home from a volleyball game. Like I don't really have any big health problems, but I can still tell the difference when I drink this water. And I just started figuring out everything I could about the water. Like I just started going on Google Scholar, researching everything, and just becoming knowledgeable so that when people would talk to me about it, I knew what to say to them. And because of my sales background, I knew how to say it. And again, like, you're not selling people. Like, you want to just educate them, because people have to feel like they came to the conclusion themselves. Like, they can't think that you're pushing something on them. Like, you have to plant little seeds along the way and just drip in information. And I do that a lot through my Instagram stories. So every day, no matter what, I post at least one thing about Kangen. Like, whether it's just pouring my water in the morning, like, I'm about to feel great, like, pouring this water. Like, we do see a chug, send a chug on Tuesdays, where we all tag each other and repost each other's stories. And people are like, what is this? Like, and ask us questions. I mean, utilize every type of sticker that Instagram has, like your polls, ask me questions one, literally, like, just all of those. Like, you want your audience to interact with you, and like Erin said, use call to action. So like, if I'm sharing, like, one day I might share about the antioxidant properties, the next day I might share about the alkalinity, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But every time at the end of whatever I'm doing, I might post 5 to 10 slides. I don't go above that, because anything above that, that just seems like the sweet spot. And you can tell with your audience and test different things, but that seems like the sweet spot for my audience. Anything more is like just testing their, you know, attention span. But at the end, I always use a call to action. Like, I always like get super excited. Like, I am now, like, I have a hype energy. Like, I get excited and I'm like, what are you waiting for? Like, the time is going to pass. Like, your health is decreasing. Like, you're definitely not where you want to be at in life. Like, you could be doing so many different things, and people listen. And I actually turned my personal Instagram into my business Instagram. So a lot of people that are seeing my stories know me personally. And that was because when I was fired from my job, like, I went all in. Like, I literally gave myself no exit, and I'd failed multiple businesses. So I had some type of reputation for, you know, I had tried like 3 different MLMs and failed all of them. So I had a reputation, right? But I just had to rebuild that. And I started doing that by being a role model expert. So there's 3 types of experts, and I'll go into that in a second. But being a role model expert is literally, like Erin said, documenting as you go. So I was sharing my process. I'm sharing my personal development. I'm sharing the knowledge that I'm getting. If you go to my Instagram page, like, you can see, like, same thing as Erin said, like, I'm not posting about the water every day or the business every day. Like, I'm posting about the things I'm doing for myself, because luckily in this business, we are our business. Like, I know you guys love the lifestyle marketing and running ads, and it is very similar when you're still doing organic marketing. So the other 2 types of experts are, you have role model expert, which is what I just said. And then you have research expert, which I am also, like, on my way doing that, which it explains itself. You just have to know what you're talking about. Like, put in the time and do the research. It's not that difficult. Like, do an hour a day, and just go on Google Scholar and research E-raw water, ERAW, electrolyzed, reduced, alkalized water. That is what you want to research. You don't want to research alkaline water. You don't want to research anything like that. E-raw water. And yes, Erin. And then the 3rd type of expert is results-based expert. So obviously that's when you're killing it. And like, so I post when I close sales, even if they're for Erin, like, when I close sales, I'll be like, oh, I just closed $18,000 of sales when I just woke up from a nap. Like, and at least 5 people will hit my DMs about it, at least. And they'll be like, what is this? And I'll tell them, like, yeah, I didn't make all that money. You know what I mean? But like, that's how much product, like, that's the cost of the product that I sold. Like, it's crazy. And so, like, sharing your process and sharing your results is like super, super powerful. And in inspiring people. And another thing is, you never know who is watching. Like, you never know. I've had people who literally have been following me for over a year and that have known me my whole life, and they have not said anything to me. And then they'll hit me up and it'll always be when I'm going through some big change. Like, I just moved into this place on the 1st, and I had like 6 people hit me up and be like, hey, I've been watching you since your first trip to Vegas, which was February my parents got married and I met up with Erin for the first time. Like, that was a long time ago, and they've been watching me grow this whole time. And now they're like, okay, well, I see you're clearly doing it. Like, people want to be convinced that it's possible first. Like, a lot of people are scared. They're scared to make the mistakes themselves. So they want to see that you're doing it first. So like, don't be scared to show all of your progress, everything you're going through, whether it's good or bad, because you also don't want to paint this picture of this perfect business, because then when they get in the business, they're going to get discouraged and be even more scared. They're like, oh, like, they made it look so easy. Why am I not making this work, etc. But yeah, you never know who you're inspiring. So that was one of the biggest lessons, I think, from doing organic marketing, is just seeing how many people, as I shared more, and like every morning, you know, I would share me pouring my water and stuff, the past 3 mornings. Like, I haven't been able to do it that much, but yeah. And then I wrote like some notes. And then, yeah, just, you're in the people business. Again, I think that's so important, is you always want to lead with value and figure out who you're talking to. So figure out what their needs are first. Like, it's not about you, it's about them. So when people feel understood and they feel connected to you and your journey, that's when they're ready to buy from you. That's when they have that emotional connection, because I will tell everybody a million times, people do not buy off of logic. People will never buy off of logic. I don't care if it's the best deal in the world. If they don't have an emotional connection of where that is going to get them or what that is going to get them away from, they will not buy. So you have to remember to touch on their pain. So, you know, do they hate their job? Like, they fucking hate their job. They would rather be anywhere else. Well, you ask them, what would you rather be doing? And then when you end a talk or a call with them, you remind them that, you know, a year from now, I can't wait until you're in Bora Bora. You know what I mean? If you stick with this, like, you could be on your dream vacation sooner than you know. And just keep touching on the things that they told you. And when you make people feel special in sales, that's something I learned in like offline sales is my old job. Like, if you show people that you care about them and you remember little things about them, then it will go so far, because we are creating a tribe, we are creating a family, and we are building businesses with these people. If they join our business and you want them to be successful, like, you're going to be talking to them a lot. So you do want them to be people that you get along with and that you are connected with. So when you remember that it's their birthday or their little brother was sick and you check on that, like, not only is that a reason to get in their DMs again and hit them up one more time, and so you're constantly in their head, like, they're constantly thinking of you, but you actually showed that you cared. And that's when people get that attachment to you. And like Erin said, you're building that reputation of everybody knows. Like, I know multiple people. There's a lady that I worked at with a restaurant 4 years ago. I inspired her for her 40th birthday to go to Bali because she saw me go to Bali in April. She never reached out to me until 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And then she was having stomach issues, which we know that's one of the biggest things that the Kangen water helps, is digestive issues. And she was having stomach issues and she wanted to heal it all, like, herbally and holistically. So she was going to an herbalist, and the herbal tea was helping, but she knew the only thing she didn't change yet was her water. And her herbalist had a K8. She could have easily bought a machine from her herbalist, but she came right to me. She said, I saw my herbalist with the machine, and I said, I wrote down in my journal, I'm calling M tonight. And she came right to me because she had been watching me in this journey the whole time. That's what's so good about being consistent. Like Erin said, like, that really is the key to this business, is like showing up for yourself. Like, when you remember your why and you keep your why in the forefront of your mind, like, whether you have to write it down every morning, post it on your freaking wall, make a vision board, as corny as that sounds, like, they work. Like, they work, trust me. And when you keep those in the forefront of your mind, and then you help other people realize their potential, and you draw out their goals and their vision. Some people don't even know what they want out of life. When you start asking them those questions in the DMs and you start sending voice clips, like, voice clips are amazing. They start hearing the inflection of your voice. They can tell that you care, and you help them realize that they can do more. Because a lot of people, like Erin said, like, if you don't tell them to ask you, or you don't tell them that they can do it, a lot of people don't think they can, because we were conditioned in a society to do the same thing every day for the rest of our lives. Like, and I know none of us want to do that. So we should be super passionate about sharing that. Right. So, that's another thing. And yeah, just utilizing voice notes. And I also always try to get people on a call. So I love talking to people face to face. I don't like phone calls. I love hopping on Zooms with people. I love hopping on FaceTimes with people and just chatting with them for a half an hour and just building that rapport, getting to know them. Again, seeing where you can add value to their life, because when you lead with education and providing value, you're not selling anymore, and you become that trusted advisor. So you become that trusted advisor, and they come to you for everything, and they send other people to you. That's how you get referrals too. So yeah, just getting that really personal touch, like remembering that you're in the people business. And I think something that Sierra, I know, would touch on really big if she was here is energy. So people can feel your energy so strongly, whether you can tell or not, whether you think they can or not. If you feel like, oh, I need to make this sale, like they're going to feel that through the screen. Like, I promise you, if you feel like, if you have limiting beliefs about how much the machine is, they're going to feel that. I guarantee you. Me and Aaron both have very similar stories with that. We could not sell trifectas for months. Tons of coaching calls, could not sell trifectas until we got over that limiting belief of like, this is expensive, because it's not. When you know, and there's a book, Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. I preach this to everybody, and I hope all your phones hear us right now and it pops up free with shipping, because Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone is amazing. And one thing he really, really, really focuses on is knowing that you have no competition. The product that you're selling, you are doing, like Chelsea said, you are doing someone a disservice if you do not tell them what you have. If you do not educate them and provide value for them, then you are doing them as a disservice, because your product is so amazing that you are not even on the same plane of anything else. And luckily in this business, we can actually say that, and it's truth. Like, there's nothing that's on the level of Enagic. We are the most legit, the only legit company that makes water ionizers like that. So luckily we can say that, and our compensation plan is top notch. Like, everything's patented, everything is certified, licensed, all of that. So we actually get to see, yes, Melissa, exactly. We actually get to see like everything. I lost my train of thought right there, but we are literally the best of the best. And when you believe that, and that energy comes across to people, they feel it. Passion is so important. Like Melissa said in the beginning of this call, like, passion sells. Like, that's how I sold junk removal, because I told stories. Junk removal is not shiny. It's not nice. It's ugly. You go in people's house and take their shit out of their house. Like, it's ugly. But I would tell stories, and I would make them emotional. And Chelsea's really good at that too. She does it in her demo when she tells her testimonials. And Sierra does that too, because Sierra and Chelsea both had stomach issues. So when they talk about that and they get emotional, like, emotion sells. Like, I can't say that enough. So literally just getting passionate and telling stories, storytelling, and just anything that connects to their emotions. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on is follow-ups. So follow-ups are key. And I know there's like mostly women on this call right now. And growing up, we were always told, or not even told, but like kind of conditioned by society to just be passive and like be people pleasers and like make everyone happy, and don't be annoying. Don't be, pushy or clingy with anybody. And you have to be stern, because again, what you have is fucking amazing. What you have is gold. So do not be scared. If somebody reads your message on Facebook and leaves you on read, they might have just read the notification and did it on accident. Like, do not be scared to hit them up 2 days later. And I've had people literally thank me for hitting them up. Like, literally thank me. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've been looking for this message. I opened it on accident. Like, you never know. And your first thought is always going to, especially as women, I see this so much, going to, oh, like, I don't want to bug them, or they probably just ignored me. Like, no, that is know your value. Like, know that you are a strong, independent, wonderful entrepreneur with something amazing to offer to people, and share it. Like, don't be scared to hit them up again. Like, and with such a large purchase, and it is a lifestyle change. Like, this is a whole lifestyle change. This is jumping off of a ledge into a whole nother style and business, right? Like, most people have never done this before or anything like it, or even heard of Enagic or water ionizers. It's an entirely different thing. So it might take a while. On average, it takes about 8 sales touches to close a sale. So just knowing that alone, like, do not give up after your first conversation. Like, don't, like, these people need what we're offering. So just keeping that in mind is super powerful. And yeah, just don't be scared. Like, be assertive. If anyone knows who Jordan Peterson is, he's amazing. He's a psychotherapist, psychologist. I don't know the exact term, but he's amazing. And he always talks about assertiveness. He actually teaches assertiveness classes for women because it's such an issue, especially in business and careers, that we are letting people trample over us when we deserve a spot in the spotlight, and we deserve to make more money than men because we're way more thorough and we care about people, and we have that extra loving touch, and we have to share it with people. Like, that's what makes us special. So bringing that feminine energy to business is super powerful. Like, touch on that. Like, use your uniqueness and share that in your sales, because again, like, you don't have to think about it as selling. You're literally sharing value. So yeah, I think that's all I got, but thank you so much for having me out, and I hope you guys got some little nuggets. And yeah, thank you. I look forward to connecting with you guys in the future.
Thank you so much, Emily. All of you guys are incredible. Is there just 3 of you tonight, or was there 4?
There was going to be 4, but Sierra's not feeling well. Her forte is all the energy work. She does Kundalini. She's led us on all of it. So she's all about the energy work, and she's amazing. She's literally started organic from the beginning, and that's all she's done. And it's gotten her to 3A in like a few months. Like, she started in August. So she's literally, and she only has 5,000 followers on Instagram.
Awesome.
So,
cool.
Hey, Mel, can we do a quick Q&A? Like, we won't take too much time. I know we want to keep these calls respectful of everyone's times, and these ladies have done a phenomenal job, but I actually have a few questions that I'd love to get your guys' feedback on. So most cases you guys are marketing to the US, correct? So do you guys utilize financing options in the US? And if you do, what are some of the top financing options that you guys are utilizing?
Okay, that's a perfect question for me because I lead everyone through that, and I actually paid a few $1,000s to be in a credit mentorship program so that I could learn a lot of this stuff. So we have actually a whole resource list of credit cards. We can share that with you. Basically, we have a chart that was started not even by like Aaron's uplines actually, but we use a lot of the first thing we do is if they have decent credit, we see if they can get approved for a no interest rate credit card, because that way they're building their credit. They are not paying any interest. So they're using other people's money, and they're borrowing the money for free for anywhere from 12 to 15 months, which is really awesome. And they can pay the minimum on the card anywhere from $50 to $100, depending on the card, every month, which is super low. So even if they do have the money, we would recommend applying for probably 2 to 4 cards, depending on their credit factors. They can't have any late payments. They have to have 100% payment rate, and they have to have at least 1 card for over a year, and they have to have at least 1 card for over a year. And I would say most options they have to have like a 670 at least. But our chart has like all the cards with the links, and then all the people's credit scores and what they got approved for based on their credit score. And just remember that it can be a little misleading sometimes, because if somebody made any big purchases, like they might have a 750 credit score, right? But if they just got a mortgage or they just bought a new car and financed it, they're not going to get approved. I can tell you that off the bat. Like
the debt ratio is too high.
Yeah, exactly. So even if someone has amazing credit. Like if they just made a large purchase, then they're not going to get approved. But even if, let's say, somebody's going to get approved, you're still going to have them apply for 3 to 4 cards and then only use what they need to, because 1, they can use the other card for ads if they want to. And 2, it's going to not make their utilization be super high. So you want to be able, like, even though their credit score will go down a little bit because they are going to use a lot of the limit, it is an investment. So obviously it's worth it because they're going to put the work in, they're going to make the money back and pay it off. But you want their utilization to stay as low as possible. So if they don't use the other cards, they just have them and don't use them, it'll keep it low.
I have one more question for you or whoever wants to answer it. But you were talking about follow-up, and I truly believe, honestly, that is so pivotal in anybody's business is follow-up. And a lot of people do, like you said, get discouraged because they feel like they're bothering somebody and they pull back from that. So how do you typically follow up? Like, how do you ease back into that conversation rather than, some people say, like, did you have a chance to look over that information? Are you still interested? What's your perfect way of following up?
It depends on who the person is. There's no one way, but I can just say a few different things that I would do. Depending on who I'm talking to, like, and what our last conversation was on. So normally I'll send them resources, like different videos, or I'll give them a task. And I always set expectations before and after calls so that they know my role and they know their role. And that's super important so that you're not only maintaining the authority of the conversation, but there's a clear expectation of what the steps are and what's going to happen next. So if I leave the call off, like let's say I was on a Zoom call with somebody and I end the call with, okay, make sure that you send me a screenshot of your 6 credit factors and that you, watch the Chelsea's demo video from our last retreat and let me know what you think. And we might have talked about a specific issue that they had, physically or something. And I would be like, look that up. So I might hit them up and be like, hey, so what did you find on this? Like, let's discuss it a little bit, or, something like that. And I'll give it, like, if we're on a face-to-face call, I'll give it like 10, 15 minutes and I'll text them the same sentence that I ended the call on a lot of times. So like if I give them a few tasks, like I'll wait like a few minutes and then I'll text them and be like, hey, so just to recap, it was really great meeting you again, blah, 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 these few things. In like, multiple follow-ups, again, like remembering things about them. Oh, I'm going to this festival this weekend. Like, oh, how was the festival? Like, I hope you had a great time. Like, did you meet anyone new or something? Like stuff like that. Like literally, it does not always have to be about the sale. Like I would actually recommend it not always being about the sale because again, you want to build that relationship. Like you don't want to come off as a salesperson. Like you want to come off as an authority figure, but also someone who cares. So like, I know, especially me, and Erin went through this as well because she tried to tell me about it so much, but being a friend too much is also a problem. So don't go too much on the friend side because you'll lose your authority, and then they won't take what you say seriously, and they won't take the tasks that you give them as like, I have to do this because I have to, kind of impress this person, you know what I mean? But I have to be on my shit. They'll stop feeling like they need to do anything to get your approval. So you don't want to also be too friendly. But yeah, whatever you talked about in your last conversation, you want to end that with like, I'll hit you up in 2 days about this, or, something like that. So setting the expectation for when you're going to talk to them, what you're going to talk to them about, what they are responsible for, stuff like that. And then, yeah, just remembering little things. Like we use Trello to keep track of all of our calls and stuff. And I haven't been using it as much now that we've been doing organic. So like I'll see these people on Instagram. So also like if they post a story or something, like I'll just reply to the story. Like if I like agree with that, whatever they posted, like I'll just reply to that. And that's one touch right there. Like I'm already in their mind. They might go and watch my story and they see Kangen on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just always finding a way in somehow based on your relationship with that person.
Love it. So like some micro commitments. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any other questions super quick? Carla, I don't know if you can reword yours. I don't know if someone else I don't know what you're asking. Have you had anyone who wasn't approved for financing could finally get a machine? I might be tired, but
like after a long time, yeah. But like it takes a long time, and Erin's like dealt with this, I know, a lot, because like I deal with a lot of her sales, but like a lot of her people like even have, you know, fell off from DGL, and then we reintroduced this, and they eventually could find the opportunity. So again, it's being omnipresent.
yes.
So constantly being in the back of their mind or showing up on their feed. If they come across the money, eventually they're going to buy. Like as long as you're doing your part and you're providing the value, and you know you're touching on their pain and pleasure points and all of that, like then they are going to know that you're the expert and come to you as the expert, and you're going to be that trusted authority, and they're going to come to you. So yeah.
So I just want to say something to all three of you guys, that you guys are doing, like, besides the fact of like that you're doing organic or you're running ads or whatever, you are all very knowledgeable in business. I can tell that every single one of you are reading and learning, and like you are good at what you're doing because you're taking that initiative too. So it's not just the consistency in doing all these things, like you're fucking learning all the time. I can hear through the way you're talking that you are listening and reading books and doing all of that, and that's a massive part of this business too. So that's amazing. It's really good to just kind of see all of this.
Can I ask a question too?
Yeah.
Hi,
Shauna.
It's just Shauna.
I said, there's Shauna.
Oh, I thought you said it's just Shauna. I have a question for you. So, for people, okay, so a big thing. Okay, so I have about 10 farmers that have just been granted $10,000 each to install a water system because their water is not drinkable. So I know that the first step is to get a water sample, but would you say realistically that this is an opportunity for people that have non-drinkable water to be able to find a solution for them? Or is it something that you kind of mainly just market for health and that's?
They need a pre-filter. Yeah. Chelsea.
They'll need a pre-filter. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, it can go either way actually. But I will say this is like really interesting, but for farm animals, horses especially, but this part human cells for animal cells too. So their animals will actually produce better, whether it be milk or whatever they're trying to do on the farm, or just have the animals be more healthy. Like they say half of pets have cancer now, but it's because the water's so bad. So that's it. You could pick or choose, because this is technically the healthiest water, of course. And even here down south, we have all these like boiling water advisories, but I'll say even at that, a boiling water advisory, we cannot use the machine because we don't even know what's in that water. They won't tell us. Like, it's crazy. But as far as like a whole system for the house, people always ask me, do they have a whole system for the house? And it's like, no, you don't need 9.5 coming through your toilet. Like, this is specific for what it is. But you know what? Everyone in America, at least if you're in America, we all have health issues, most of us, especially older people like that, most likely. But like I said, it could be for them. You could even do a simple pH test. Like I said, that alone, you don't have to have the ORP meter, but just say, hey, can I come test your water for you? That is like super awesome because people don't do that. Like, that's like not a thing. So the fact that you can say, yeah, let me come test it for you, I can tell you what's going on with it. And I have never once had someone say like, oh, well, I didn't know about the test results of some chemical I don't know the name of. It's always just being like, you are the expert, you're going over there, you're showing them pH, which they knew nothing about. This is going to be new information to them. So you can do it both ways. Let them know that. And whenever their tap water or well water turns blue on the pH scale, that's because there's lye in it. And that's what I always explain is there's lye in the water. This is a 14 on a pH scale. So if this was going through your pipes, it wouldn't rust the pipes. But if it was acidic water, it's going to rust the city pipe. So however you want to say it, but that's where the ORP meter comes in handy to back up, just saying like, look how positive it is. So I would always, everyone should order that. That should be like on your list of things to get. If you're going to go test water to people, is absolutely an ORP meter, which is on hanna.com. Oops, sorry. Which is HANNA.com. And they have all types of meters. You can even test fluoride. You can test whatever you want to, but that's a basic one that's going to be awesome to tell you how oxidizing it is. So yeah.
That's super helpful. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
And also, what is it? Multi-pure? It's multi-pure, right, Chelsea?
Yep.
Yeah, multi-pure is the best pre-filter that you can get. We're having someone come out on our call next Monday and talking about it. So if you guys want the Zoom link, we can share the Zoom link with you guys. He's a super expert on this stuff. Like, he's sharing all about the pre-filter, because if your machine, I saw someone's machine wasn't working right after using well water, you might have calcium buildup in your machine, which could damage your machine. And also it could, fuck with your warranty. You're going to want to get that professionally cleaned, and then get a pre-filter. And the pre-filters are NSF certified, so they've had 20,000 gallons of water run through them. A lot of pre-filters that are just being sold, they are only tested with like 60 gallons. So it's nowhere in comparison to what multi-pure does. And then something else I just want to touch on, I'm sorry, I don't want to be talking too much, but something else I just want to touch on is like with the follow-up stuff, like don't be scared to ask someone for a no. Like if you feel like you've hit them up a few times and they're not replying or whatever, be like, hey, like if you're not serious about this, like I really don't want to keep bugging you or waste either of our time. But if you are, I don't want to give up on you, so let me know. Asking for a no and just getting either way so you know who to focus on is super powerful as well.
Cool. Okay, so we'll let you guys go. You've given us a lot of your time tonight, and we really, really, truly appreciate it. I think that was extremely helpful. The feedback is amazing. I know that you've inspired everyone, including me and Nikki and Ashley and Shauna. So thank you again. We appreciate it. And welcome to ACE. We look forward to working with you guys. Have a good night, guys.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.